Good day, everyone. This is me again, Hart, for another video. And for today, we're going to talk about an excerpt from Chris Williamson's newsletter way back February 19, 2025, in which I found this in my journal, in my Day One app. So, the newsletter is about having our minds, or we have 10,000 to 20,000 thoughts per day, and most of it will be forgot. We will forget most of it by the next 24 hours or after 24 hours. And why do we care so much about the thoughts that we are having in the present moment when it will be forgotten? Most of it will be forgotten tomorrow. So the excerpt goes like this. If you're annoyed at a thought, remind yourself of the golden rule. You probably won't remember this thought tomorrow. It rug pulls the power that thought has over you. If you have a noisy neighbor, it's hell. If you know the noisy neighbor will move out in 24 hours and you'll forget all your memories of them, it's heaven. If our thoughts are so forgettable, why do we take them seriously in the present moment? Reminder to self. If you can change the radio station in your head, remember, a new radio station will be on tomorrow, and you'll have no lasting memory of today's DJ. So, if we will go back to the first part of this excerpt from Chris Williamson's newsletter, I would first explain the meaning of this. If you have a noisy neighbor, it's hell. If you know the noisy neighbor will move out in 24 hours and you'll forget all your memories of them, it's heaven. So, this noisy neighbor that Chris Williamson is talking about is the bad thoughts or the negative thoughts that we are having in the present moment. And if we know that in the next day we will forget all of it or most of it, how will we feel about that? Because if you really look into it and understand it, you will realize how liberating it is to understand that these thoughts that you're having right now will not be the thoughts that you will have tomorrow. So this gives you the chance to return to your baseline level, in which most humans do, in which I'm talking about the baseline mood that we have, from having a 2 out of 10 maybe of mood to having its baseline of 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. For example, if you had a good night's sleep, if you've uh, if you if you ate better on time and nutritious nutritious meals, then you would most likely have a better mood and have lesser negative thoughts than you thought you would have. So, what is my point? My point is that if we realize this thing or these thoughts that we are having, if we are aware of it, we know that this will not last long. This also this also means that our emotions, or this is the same with our emotions, in which our emotions come and go. And if we're saying that you're not diagnosed or you're not suffering from any mental illness, because some mental illnesses may have prolonged negative thoughts that could lead them to longer depressive episodes or longer period of sadness or longer period of having negative thoughts. If you're not in that same category, well, realize that you can bounce back the next day and reset your mood, reset your life. You have this another chance to just understand and become more aware of the thoughts that you're having, and then your emotions also. So, an example of this would be earlier. I woke up late because I was so tired yesterday because of uh, the job that I have right now, and I'm still adjusting to the workload that we have in the hospital. And it was hard for me to, or my mind is telling me to just rest and do not wash my clothes and do the laundry, because my mind is telling me that if I still did or made or wash my clothes, I know that I will be experiencing backache and back pain because I will be sitting for prolonged for a long for an hour or so. But if but I realize that this is just me, or having these thoughts, that I know that I will forget, and I know that the future version of me would be happy if I still did the laundry and I still washed my clothes despite not feeling like it. So if we will proceed to the next part of this excerpt, he said that if our thoughts are so forgettable, why do we take them seriously in the present moment? So if we forget most of our thoughts, especially we are having this thousands and thousands of thoughts each day, 6,000 and or more, why do we feel like, or why do we take the present moment so seriously, especially the thoughts that we are having? Maybe you're not yet aware of the thoughts that you're having, or you're still not managing it well and just dwelling on the emotions or the thoughts that you have and not really acting on it. That could be the case. And he said, or Chris Williamson said, reminder to self: if you can change the radio station in your head, remember a new radio station will be on tomorrow, and you'll have no lasting memory of today's DJ. So, this also connects to the thing that I've learned while I was reviewing for the board exam. This, which is all about the forgetting curve. And this forgetting curve says that, I don't remember the name of the physicist, I think, of physicist who discovered this forgetting curve, in which this forgetting curve relates to students who are reviewing for an exam or reviewing for something. And if a student understands that we have this forgetting curve, we would realize that most of our study strategies or study hacks or study tips will not work if you are not aware of this. Which is basically, if we read something right now, for example, you've read an, a paragraph of a section of a book, and then what you will do is you will let your mind, or the forgetting curve says that after one day or after 24 hours, you will forget maybe 70% to 80% of it. And if you don't recall it, or you recall it for after 3 days, then you will basically don't remember it. And as time pass by that you don't recall it or re-study it in your mind, that that idea or that information that you've just read will be forgotten. And it applies to most of our thoughts. If we don't practice recalling it, and the most effective way is teaching it to another person, then we would most likely forget it. So if we go back to the point that I am making regarding the newsletter that I have read, we would we should understand that if we are having a bad day, if we are having negative thoughts and emotions, just realize that the following days you'd forget this moment right here, right now. And if you focused on that, if you focus on the next thing that you can do in order to manage your emotions right now and realize that you will have a different emotion in the next hour, the next minute, then you will be at ease and just go with the flow of life. So I think the one key takeaway that you could get from this video is that most of our thoughts and most of our emotions will be forgotten. You will forget it basically. And if you realize, or if you really practice it and apply it into your life, you will be free from all of the worries, or not all, but your worries will be lessened and your anxiety will be lessened because you realize that you become more comfortable that you're experiencing this negative thing. Even though it's negative, you don't treat it as something that would kill you or would have this great impact in your life, because this is just the moment. This is just the reality. Whether it's positive, whether it's negative, you know that in the next minute, in the next hour, in the next day, you will have a different emotion, you will have a different thought. And that's okay, because this is just life. This is the reality. And the sooner you embrace it, the sooner you can adapt. So, if you have any comments or any suggestions, you can comment on the comment section below. And if you like this video, you can like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, if you want more wisdom coming right at you, then see me on the next video. Goodbye.